Yo, what up, what up, what up, YouTube? This is Charlie Brown Beatnik 2. And some people were taken and startled by under an entry on the bit shoot, for the description. I had Starfighter pilot name, not, the name of the starship, you know. I called it Forsaken Chicken because I felt like it described my situation right now in every sense of the term. When you feel like you rejected from society, right? It is as if you're forsaken. And then for some reason, like statistically, the dating situation is fucking crazy, man. It's like impossible to get a lady. Real talk. Um, So it's like forsaken chicken because any way you look at the situation seems like it's like forsaken as fuck. Um, but not. It's just something with the starfighter starship. Some people may have meditated as far as thinking about Satan saying that he was going to set his kingdom on the sides of the north and what have you. Um, you know, the situation with me is long time ago before we started this game, we had conversations. Well, it wasn't before we started this game. It was in the early cycles of life when we had after we started playing this game, we had the idea of a Starfighter game. We wanted to do a Starfighter game just like this reality, only a reality where we're like starfighters and we're on a planet and we have duels and what have you. And it was just a concept or an idea of what we were going to do. And I'm talking about like this is like us remembering as spirits before we came here to earth. Okay, so I know this is far-fetched for a lot of people, but if you could just bear with me. um so initially when we got into this game, okay, they had a video game and this video game was called Starfighter. Okay, I'm not sure if it was called Starfighter, but it was like Star Force, or basically it was like the game Centipede, where you have a spaceship and it's stationary. You could move from side to side. That's all you could do, and your spaceship would constantly shoot bullets and missiles, and you would try to take down like the alien forces on the other side. We were going to do something like that, as a reality. Okay. But when we came into this game, I'm just showing you how things spilt over. There was an actual video game and it started out kind of like Centipede, right? With like, it was more, it had less graphics. But each time we come through life, you see the advancements of these games. And so then you have Star Force, okay? Well, you have Starfighter, and then Starfighter was like a more advanced version of Millipede, but this spawned from, the Starfighter idea that we were thinking about and separating into teams. And there was Allgaier. There was a guy named Allgaier. He had a team, and there was Osley, who does ASMR videos right now in this reality. But Osley was going to captain up the other team, and we were going to split into teams and do like this Starfighter game. Well, it came down into this world as these video games. And so if you look at the early versions of Starfighter, you'll know which ones it is. Then I want you to see how it was like Centipede. Then we had Starfighter, which was like Centipede with better graphics. Then we had Star Force. And all of these you could tell are on the same line, and how this game has gotten a little bit better each time, okay, that we came through the cycles of life, right? And then after Star Force, now we have Wing Fighter. I want you to look up these apps in Google. And Wing Fighter is a even more graphic and detailed thing pertaining to this same line or lineage of this video game getting better, which originally started as an idea, all right, before we got to Earth. All right. So after that, you know what I'm saying? After you look up those apps and you see Wing Fighter and you see how this game has gotten better, as far as society and how it's been broken down and everything. And we voted for the president, Donald Trump, during his first term. He had introduced the ideation of a Star Force, which is the same name as the app or the video game. Okay. Now, Star Force, that links back to that idea that we had, all right, of the next video game we were going to play after we finished playing this video game on Earth. All right. Which this world, this reality is a video game for us, or like you could say as a type of metaverse. You exist inside of it, right? And then as things progress in our life, who knew that it would turn out that the kids that were shoved in lockers allegedly, you know what I'm saying, will end up being like the heroes pertaining to like tech and media, and all this stuff that trickled down to software. And now this generation is a generation of what they call gamers, which coincide with this LGBT thing. Because sometimes they say like gamer. I guess that's like code word or something. But, you don't know if niggas talking about a gamer or a gamer. You know what I'm saying? But it boiled down into games. You understand? And Donald Trump, in terms of presidency and real life shit, talked about a Star Force, and all of this correlates with that same idea that we had that we was gonna do before we got to Earth. There was great aliens, there was dragons. We were in a place called Hyperia. The dragons and the aliens entered onto the ships, and the minions, we dropped down into this box. It was in an extra dimension. We came into Earth. Okay. We were gonna do Starfighter as the next game, and those were gonna be the two teams. It was like two Seraphim. All right. It was like Allgaier, who's hella cool, and Osley, who's hella cool, and but yeah, that's so that's what that's from. I have Starfighter, the game on my phone. My handle on there is not NOT. You know what I'm saying? And now you could enter in there on Teams on this Starfighter game. You know what I'm saying? And they keep updating it and advancing it. And in the beginning, when they started the Starfighter game, when we entered in here, there was kids that were stoked about working on the Starfighter game as far as the graphics and everything like that, because it was a project that was projected to so-called fail, or control fail, so to speak. In other words, they put all this funding on creating this video game in this phone, not expecting to finish the video game, which is why you could get to a certain level on the video game, and these video games will just keep going forever. The computer will just keep generating more and more stages so that you could never get to the end of the game. So it's like a forever game, these apps. And they stopped the project, and these kids got paid really good money, during the early stages in this life cycles where they were filming the type of commercials that we have during this this place and space that we're in. It's near the entrance of where we entered the game. But that's what I meant by Starfighter. It correlates with something that is very old. I'm not holier than thou or anything like that. And in fact, the tag that before I went by Saint Nouan, and then I go by Not now. And Not basically just pertains to not ego. I didn't want some people getting mixed in the sauce thinking that me vlogging that I was some type of preacher. I'm not a preacher. I don't know how to, I didn't go to seminary or any of that. Okay. I was just breaking down. That's how the Bible speaks to me. You know, it talks about the Bible, people speaking in tongues, speaking many different languages. This is just my flavor from my life, and how, you know, scripture and discernment has fed my spirit from the scripture, you know. And I posted online because I couldn't find fellowship. So if there's any, you know, debate or anything like that, or someone put me up on understanding, then they are welcome to do that. But, you know, like I said, I believe the information I put up on here is correct regarding scripture. I do. Um, if I didn't think it was so, I wouldn't definitely wouldn't put it up on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you know, it's been all good. It's been blessed. God has looked out for me because, man, I'm just trying to learn and have an understanding of what this situation is. You know, I'm 2 years out from my exit, man. I was supposed to get a door. I know my family and people around me think I'm crazy, but I describe these things that are so old, you know what I'm saying, that people can't call me crazy because I see the pathology of these things, so on and so forth, and how it's evolved. And I use common things, everyday things that people have in society to bring out a point of the spiritual world that we existed in before, you know, Hyperia, and it was like 32-bit, you know, it was like that, but it was like multi um multi or mixed media. Okay, kind of on like the Enter the Spider Verse side of the game a little bit, but not in that type of style. Okay, and I was a one-eye minion. Okay, but that's the thing with the Starfighter. So that's what that is about, man. And then also this situation with, you know, Havana syndrome, voice to skull, people talking about ghost and things like that, which has become common. Um, I recognize. I think people are talking about this Delta state, or people having auditory hallucinations and shit. And I gotta tell you, man, it has a very adversarial quality. And there's this song by Health called Anti-Life, where he talks about talking to himself, and this adversarial quality is suggested in the music video, which is a rendering of Darkseid in the comic books of this phenomena that people describe about hearing a voice, or which very few describe. Most people in the secrets, I guess they're not allowed to talk about that. But people are hearing things, man, and they call them ghosts or whatever. And you know, this situation, you know, is I don't know, man. You know, I would say this from the adversarial quality of this spirit, pertaining to when you think about this, and you recognize how Masons can't talk about it. When you hear a recording of Mel Gibson, you know what I'm saying, going off and saying something that is racist or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that Mel Gibson would had some deep situation against black people. You don't know what has happened in that man's life or what had triggered him to say that specifically. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to tell you is that uh you know, what if he was having V2K, voice to skull, this anti-life situation um going on with him, or these other celebrities that they get on terms of quote unquote racism. You see what I'm saying? Because we know that this phenomena is real pertaining to targeting. And I gotta tell you, man, the isolation and thing and everything sucks. Uh Yesterday I downloaded this app called Scout, man. That's SKOUT. That shit should be called Gout, nigga. I got. Hey man, listen. Hey, listen. I'm quite common looking, man. I definitely ain't the most handsome guy on the market, but I gotta tell you, man, these fucking photographs. these fucking. My nigga, these photographs on fucking Scout, my nigga, was so fucking crazy. First of all, man, they look like extraterrestrial fucking photos, nigga. Because the photographs, and I'm talking about the digital quality of the images. Like I said, some of these images, man, even though they new photos, they look old. They look old. Like something about them look old, or the situation that like something appears dated, like almost like some Beetlejuice or some ghost type world type shit, man. And the shit be looking different, nigga. The shit be looking different, and the niggas, I never see any other niggas on fucking Scout or any of these dating apps. You never see any of these niggas in the streets, but allegedly they live in your area or the town or whatever. And yo, these niggas be looking different on Scout than a motherfucker, nigga. They be looking, hey, these motherfuckers on Scout be looking different, bro. I don't know how to describe it to you. Sometimes it's like, man, they almost look human, bro. They almost look human, but just not quite. You feel me? And it just be different, bro. It be different. It be different than a motherfucker. And hold on. They eyes be like this, popped open like this, like somebody died with their eyes open and shit. A lot of them, man. Maybe it's the flash on the camera. I ain't trying to be a dick. This shit is crazy, bro. And then like you look in the eyes, and then it's like nothing in there. Like their eye is there, but it's like you know, they got like 1,000 yard stare, like they staring off into space, man. Like they've been, you know what I'm saying? And these areas and these places where they take these photographs, it's like, where the fuck are these places? They got these crazy colors and shit like that. We have different color lights and shit. Ain't no shit like that in Missouri. I mean, I suppose they could decorate their room like that, but the shit be different, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And everything has a connotation towards marketing on there. And I'm like, it's a dating app. Like people trying to, yeah. And I can't, you know what I'm saying? The age on there, sometimes when they say a certain age, I'll be like, nah, bro, you look like you should be in school or something. Some of these look like kids that should be in school. Like you shouldn't be on a dating app at all. Um, but yeah, man, I can't fuck with it. Every time I chicken out every time. That's another forsaken chick. I chicken out every time on the dating app, man. I start thinking about this shit. I'm like, yo, I can't do it. I know it. I know it. I know I seem like a dick, bro. But I can't fucking do it. Bro, bro, these niggas on these dating apps, bro, and it's like they know they have this fucking eerie smile, dude, where it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I know if you do this thing right here, you mentally fucked. You go disassociate because you go look at that picture and be like, everything about this is wrong. I can't fuck with it, bro. I can't fuck with Scout. I can't fuck with Scout. The dating app, nigga, is uh it's traumatic, bro. If you're aware and you pay attention to details, bro, and this is a common thing. So y'all think I'm talking making fun of niggas. I'm not making fun of niggas. I'm saying everything about it down to even the photo quality. Uh, uh it's like You don't see pictures in society anywhere else like these, man. Like typically when people take a picture with their cell phone or whatever, and if it's not over the top, overproduced, like some type of fucking model photo, it's like super dingy, bro. It's super dungeon somehow, or ghost world. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like some professional photography where it's like overproduced. And these emojis where the chicks wear the flowers around their head and shit like that, with the cartoon flowers, the flowers big like that. Hey man, that shit is Beetlejuice and a motherfucker, man. And these fake eyelashes too that they put on. These really big fake eyelash, like ladybug eyelashes, bro. This shit. What is this fucking world, man? Come on, let's be honest. And I know some sisters gonna get mad at me because they like to wear them big eyelashes and shit. But let's be honest, man. This shit's like a ladybug, man. This shit's like that's on the Rocky Horror Picture Show side of the game. With the big eyelashes. So, I mean, it's really become like it's like some type of Barbie world, man. Everything is synthetic. And when FEMA at the time when they were collecting containers and things like that, then you know the so-called conspiracy theorists, when they reported on that and all the containers that FEMA was collecting, I believe these things happen with COVID, and I believe that we are in FEMA and we're stratified in society according to tax bracket, okay, and open housing listings. You understand what I'm saying? And it could be controlled. You know what I'm saying? Where you exist, or in your place in society according to your opportunities and what type of job you have. So when COVID, when everybody was separated into their houses and things like that, if you were going to do the brain initiative or some mind thing where you want to study the living mind, you would need to separate society more in order to individualize individuals. And then you had COVID Delta, and people are hearing quote unquote ghosts, and they're marketing for wellness centers pertaining to schizophrenia. When you watch the film The Watchmen, and at the end of the film, the whole place is hit with some type of psychological attack that fucks up society. And Rorschach wants to tell the truth, but Dr. Manhattan killed him because he felt that it would cause more panic and chaos. To leave it to tell the people the truth rather than to leave them in ignorance. It's such the same that I see reflected in this world. I mean, is this the magic of the movies that they introduced you with when you walk into a movie theater? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so this this phenomenon with variant and low key variant came out during the course of all of these things as well. All of these things connotate and speak to one another in some shape or form. And containers in scripture would correlate with like a portal or a destination or a place that individuals are in. And I believe that when we were stratified, or in order to control COVID, they separated everyone, or had everyone separate themselves, and people began to work from home, and society never went back to normal. I believe that something happened, that society was triaged, and we're kind of like in a holding place or a container. And I'm not trying to be morbid, I'm just giving you a perspective or something like that, like a portal or a little dimensional WandaVision, electromagnetic dome that is kind of like, some level of mind control. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I don't have access to jobs or work or anything else. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting by day or whatever. I'm blessed, but I'm you know what I'm saying, at the same time. So that's what I think. I think that we might be in FEMA camps unbeknownst to ourselves. And I believe that you can be deceived out of all five of your senses. So I think is stronger things are things like insight, foresight. You know what I'm saying? What type of things are representative and connotative in your life pertaining to how things are going in your world? For me, it seems like the world is like a black hole or some type of cancer. Everything seems to have some type of different connotation pertaining to spirits and whispering spirits, so on and so forth. you know there's a lot of individuals that's into different trades. It seems like many people are into like witchcraft and things of this nature, and like I don't really fuck with any of that stuff. I guess I'm just square, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But this Charlie Brown Beatnik too, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unbeknownst perceivably, could you be locked inside of a dream? you know and if you're locked inside of a dream, is it necessarily a good thing to be conscious, or is it a bad thing to be in a dream in the real world in which you exist? And then we have movies like Matrix and Inception also. You see what I'm saying? Truman Show. Times, places, and spaces in which you change your arrangements, and you see the same individuals even though you go there at different times. Could these be agents of the Matrix, but not the FBI? And society is sealed like WandaVision? People have secret interests. Inside this container is very few I can relate with as a communicator. There's something to think about. I'm not hard to get along with. But I gotta say, if you go on those dating apps and you start looking at them people and recognize you never see them people in the streets, and they look interesting, don't they? That many of our things that are streamed to our TV and our homes are created by AI and may be fabricated. And unless I see for myself, how can I know if the news is real or something that is keeping me on standby constantly? Like this perpetual dream that does not make sense. Peace and blessings to you all.